We're in business.
Cooking with grease.
All right, Mr. Hamrick, what are we working with? I just before we started recording, 23 years in the military. I want to say again on the recording, thank you so much for your service. I love that you're super positive about it, and as you mentioned before we start recording, we both agree. Not everybody's as fortunate to get out on a positive note. I personally have been affected. I'm from Ohio. A lot of military friends, like Texas. People don't get over their post-traumatic stress. So what are you working on? Tell me about your project.
Well, it's a little bit of the active healing is kind of where I found myself when I was in that transition. As I was getting ready to retire, I figured, hey, I better start, cleaning up some challenging, intrusive memories and thoughts that I had. So I set myself on a journey to, go through some different mental health treatment opportunities, different modes of therapy, cognitive processing, cognitive behavioral, prolonged exposure, EMDR, a couple different. I figured, you know what, man, we'll sample a little bit of everything and see what works,
Yeah,
in the hopes that it would kind of right the ship. I was dealing with some challenges with both the transition, taking the uniform off and having the time to actively reflect on some of the circumstances that I found myself in. So I'm blessed to have had the foresight to know that I needed to kind of clean up some things.
yeah.
Our opportunity is along that same line. So what we've done is we've created a hardware software package that couples with mental health treatment. What it does is it takes biometric RPM data and assigns it to the subjective data that is self-reported to the physicians by the patients. So if you've ever had the opportunity to participate in any type of mental health treatments, it's the evaluations based on a standardized survey that they give you as a part of your routine healthcare needs. You'll show up to the clinic about 15 minutes early, take the test, and they'll use your weighted scores to kind of like evaluate how things are going.
Yep.
Problem number one for me, when I was going to one of the clinics was at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon down in San Antonio, height of traffic times going towards the clinic. So I would always show up to the clinic kind of just animated and agitated from sitting in traffic, skewing some of my metrics uh, that
Yeah.
that we would produce on those surveys. I didn't know it at the time as this was going through, but like later on in my wellness journey, some of those things became a little bit more self-evident that the external variables have impacts on how I perceive things to be. So we decided to we started off in the video game space. We've got a game out or getting ready to be released that's integrating therapeutics into the video game. So
Okay.
gamers that are suffering from tinnitus can get in and get some relief while they're playing. Just really looking to talk to veterans
Like
and
tinnitus from their ears, you mean?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I actually have tinnitus myself from I do a lot of cliff jumping. I got somebody jumped on me and I got tinnitus for the rest of my life. I only notice it when I'm going to sleep though, like when it's quiet is
Yeah.
when you really hear it. So when you mean relief from tinnitus, you mean from people shooting guns around their head, like loud noises?
Generally, that's what it's associated with. Explosions, high frequency noises.
Yeah,
I get it
and
really bad when I'm around electronics for whatever reason. But in this game, you kind of can't help but be around
yeah, yeah,
electronics.
yeah. I wonder if that accelerates mine as well. I just never am around any quiet. And then when I'm going to sleep, I'm like, holy shit, that
Yeah.
is loud. It's crazy. But when you mean relief, so the game takes your mind off of the sound so you don't hear it or what?
So there's a technology where you can frequency match your tinnitus within the game. So ahead of getting into your gameplay, you can go into the settings and adjust your left and right ears sounds to where it'll generate a synthetic tone that matches your frequency of tinnitus, and it goes away. So
Wow.
yeah, so pretty interesting stuff. Just kind of uh, leveraging that. Then we met up with some additional psychiatrists, psychologists, that had a need for some immersion therapy gaming development. So we started building them immersive VR realities where they could host their patients in this VR setting, and still have the ability to safely guide their patients through some of these challenging
Wow.
scenarios. So we're really
Wow.
interested in the mental health space. But all of
But
that,
sorry to interrupt you,
yep,
sir, but specifically focused on ex-military veterans of the U.S. military, right?
yes,
That's
sir.
the
Our beachhead customer is going to come out of the VA clinical system. Traditionally, there's clinics that have treatment failures that they host for residential patient treatments.
yeah,
So we've got a couple teed up on deck. We got an LOI with one of the companies, and we're in active negotiations with another. So we're looking to get some traction
amazing.
in that
And
space.
are you funding this through the U.S. government or military grants in it, or veteran VA grants
It's
at all?
self-funded to date.
Have you explored that opportunity? Because I would
We
think
have
that
we have a we submitted for a SIBR, a Small Business Innovation Research Grant support request through NIH. We are teeing up another one through NSF right now to kind of parallel those things. So we should have some
yeah,
splash and
I mean, I
feedback
think
on that.
I'm gonna 10x that for you on this call today because I think everybody who calls themselves an American patriot should be backing shit like this. You know what I mean? Because we all try to give money to troops, say thank you for your, but this is an unbelievable opportunity for. So I mean, I will do whatever you need for free forever to help you with this. Just first of all, because that's the way I can 10x my impact. So really amazing what you're doing. Do you have a co-founder? Do you have a tech background? You're speaking like you sound like you know what you're building and everything, but you are the face of the company. Are you also the person building this technology as well?
Now we have a technical co-founder. Nick Donarski is my technical co-founder. We've since kind of grown that staff a little bit as well. We're really seeking some additional funding to build out our developmental team to kind of take this from phase one MVP to phase two, which will get into some type of predictive modeling for forecasting,
Got
potential
it.
interventions is what our aspirations are.
So, okay, there's another thing I can coach you on with that. So there's the funding side, there's the development side, and then what other, sounds like you already got some stuff teed up. Is there other marketing issues that you wanted to come and get advice with today, or that was pretty much it?
You can always use more marketing, to the point where we're like reevaluating some academic opportunities to go back and kind of gain some additional capabilities.
Yeah.
Maybe not capacity, but at least capabilities.
Yeah.
We're pretty maxed out. We're just at the uh, limitations of our budget for
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
manning. So yeah,
let's
yeah,
focus on the money side then, because I really think everything is marketing and sales at the end of the day. Whether you're fundraising, trying to find a new girlfriend, trying to find a new job, trying to do whatever. So a couple things I want to talk about. First, on the development side, if you make yourself a whatever it is .org nonprofit,
mhm,
or make a nonprofit, I believe that there's an opportunity for development agencies to do free work for you as a tax benefit or a tax write-off. I'm not an expert in that space, but if I was I don't need that. I'm gonna do whatever
mhm.
I can just so I can sleep at night to help you for free. I have personal. I'm visiting a veteran friend of mine who lives in Egypt on the beach because he's scared. He just like is literally scared, too much trauma and stress coming back to America for him at all. So he lives on the beach in an unknown little part of Egypt. We're going to visit him because he's lost so many friends to suicide, and we just try to visit him. So I got that friend. Another friend of mine has healed himself through cannabis, deep, deep trauma, blown up, all that, all the most horrible stuff. So if I can help you, then, and I feel like it's harder with other people that maybe aren't as connected to the community. And so, but I think if you make it financially feasible for them to get tax benefits through helping you, which I believe that you're able to do that, you might want to just spend a couple of days looking into that. Obviously, you're a for-profit company, but on the development, or you have you have obviously a lot of you're going to want to be able to give this product away to a lot of people who are underserved and underfunded communities. You're going to do a lot of you know whatever, let's not nonprofit, what's the word I'm looking for
Philanthropy.
good causes. Yeah, like 10% of all the profit we're going to do, therapy. We're going to provide free therapy to veterans that are on the homeless or on the street, things like that. You need to make sure you're building into it. But at the earliest stage, companies should be able to provide free services to you. I mean, if they care enough, maybe they would do it anyway. But I think if it's a tax benefit, what I mean is, let's say I own a development agency. It would cost 60 grand for us to do something. They can get 100 grand in tax write-off ability from doing that with you. And I know a large enough company in California that might even be interested, because their tax bill is probably 5 million a year,
Yeah.
so they can knock off a chunk of that to help with you. That's the way the world works.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Any
so
help would be greatly welcome and
so
appreciated.
yeah, so that's one opportunity. Is I don't know enough about that because I don't even do that. I should be doing that. Hey, give me I'll help you out for free. You give me a form that you sign that says I did 20 grand worth of work, and that's enough for me for my tax benefit. So I know there's more sophisticated operators out there that know how to do that. So you might want to look into that, because you have a perfect company for people to get what's called a CSR initiative, corporate social responsibility initiative. So that's the first thing to look at there. The company I was thinking of is called Tech Ahead. Tech Ahead. They're not necessarily an American company. They got an American office, but that's why I was saying that if the dollars make sense, then yeah, we'll do good with our, also. Um, so I think that's an opportunity. Basically, you would just search on a website called clutch.co is where you can find the biggest software development agencies. And you would just send us, a canned message to them like, hey, we're a nonprofit, like you have a for-profit side after you go to market and you become profitable and whatever, but you register as a nonprofit for the good that you're trying to do, whether it's events or training, or we're going to give the app for free away for a year. So we're a nonprofit that helps veterans through XYZ tech and hardware and software products. And we're a little bit light on the software side. We're looking for to give tax benefits to a company that can help us do XYZ. It doesn't have to be a full-time thing. Maybe we're going to give 20% cash, 80% CSR initiative, and that should be enough to cover their costs. And then they're like, "Oh shit, that's great." So I think that's one
Yeah.
opportunity, and you might be able to do that for everything from marketing to whatever, but definitely on the development side. So on the fundraising side, I think that you really got to explore every opportunity for wealthy people also to get a really good PR initiative out of this. And so, you know, I don't know people. If you go on Instagram and you search veteran, and the people who come up with hundreds of thousands of followers that mention veteran in their profile, they might be really fucking interested in working. Again, everything should come for free for you at what you're building. Yeah, you're going to make money, but your good that you're going to do is going to outsize the money you're going to make until it's a multi-billion-dollar thing, or forever. And so leveraging that, everything is about value. And the value that you're offering to people, besides is much more than the money that you can pay them. For instance, what I mean is, if somebody is a huge social media influencer and they put veteran in their profile, you're giving them the opportunity to align themselves with something that's going to help tens of thousands of veterans, and they don't have to do very much work for it. And they get to put that there. So that could be putting creating content on their profile and talking about it, giving them micro equity, telling them that they get to be co-founder of it. And, a lot of founders don't want to do that, but they save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing spend. And they also, if you have a big veteran influencer involved, like somebody with over 1 million followers or 500,000, it makes it very easy to go to Good Morning America, whatever PR you need. And then the investment comes really easy after all of that. And so we're going to talk about the PR side in a second. But the second thing is finding an influencer. You have the vision, you have the experience in the industry, in the military for so long, serving in so many different aspects. You know what products are needed for people with PSD, PTS.
Yeah.
Yeah, PTSD. Thanks. Took so long. I got my own, but no, but then this influencer, that's just the way the world works with
Yeah.
marketing now. You either get someone who has a huge audience, or you pay to get that audience, one way or the other. So, with your value that you create, I think there's a huge opportunity to spend one day DMing the biggest people on TikTok or Instagram that say the word veteran, or it could be special forces or the word military, whatever it is. You see somebody that's got huge followers. Hey, I'm developing some cool software to help with PTSD. Would love to just chat with you for 30 minutes about this opportunity. And if I doubt you would get a response, hey, you got to pay me, fuck you. You go, wow, okay, I'm gonna move on to the next guy if that's where you're at. But the idea is that anybody that served in the military, or even I didn't serve. I went to one day of ROTC in college, and they were like 4:30 in the morning PT the next morning. I was like, I got a date tonight and a party after that. I couldn't do it. So tremendous amount of respect for that. I tried to get into Virginia Military Institute, and they were like, your grades are too bad. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna go back to partying. But anyway, I needed the discipline at the time, and so I really respect what it does. But I also see that. So my point is, you have a tremendous amount of value to offer somebody like that. So thinking about the value that you have to offer an influencer is one to 100x their impact. A lot of those influencers are using their platform already to help veterans and talk about things that people can do, but they're not as knowledgeable about all the options out there because you actually spend so much time healing yourself. You don't have that large platform. So connecting them to you is actually really a great thing. But then getting these tools, I mean, the equity actually is going to be worth money. So there's a money aspect, there's a helping people aspect, and then there's also like the goal for every influencer is to be the first person to speak about cool shit that their audience is going to be interested in. So you give that. So I think finding an influencer, male and female, if possible, a couple influencers. I mean, I don't know what kind of equity you can give up, but if it's one really big person, it could be 1 to 2%. They might be wanting 5%, but then you're going to hold them to a high standard of what they got to do. Like 5% is, I want you on the meetings every week. I want you, talking about this on being the face of the company. I don't know if you're comfortable to do it. That's fine. But the difference is when it's an influencer that can be Googled, it's just like, it's very easy to get conferences, speaking events, big podcast interviews. Stuff like that just falls into your lap after that because that person's very Googleable. You can also look on YouTube for a big YouTuber that talks about PTSD and military stuff, or just military stuff in general, like however big they are. So it could be one really big person or a bunch of medium-sized people that they don't ask for anything. They just want to talk about it when the product's ready. So usually what I recommend is, try and have a long-term relationship where they're going to be the face of the business. That's just because, like I said, you can get on to all those big things. Let's imagine you lock that in, or if you're are you open to that? Like having somebody else with a really big following being the face of the business?
Yeah, always, man. We're trying to get the best product out in front of the most people to do the most benefit. That's our
Yeah,
goal.
exactly. And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you are there's this thing I call the FUBU effect, like created for us, by us. We want a founder always, as an investor myself, I want a founder that's building solutions to their own problems, and they have to, they're the right person and you're still that guy, obviously. But what I'm saying is you bring in this minority equity holder. The first example from my career was I was at a company and an investing startup that raised $5 million and totally had everything in place, but they took on Kevin Durant, the basketball player, as an investor. I can't remember what he put in, probably like 500K, but he put on his social media that he's the founder of that company, or they don't care. He's not really in the office all the time, but he's talking about it. He's posting to millions of followers, and he's coming to some of the board meetings. He's representing the company at conferences sometimes, different stuff that really raises the profile of the business. Like it 10x is the speed that you can get shit done, and you just have to drop that founder ego, which you don't have already. So that's one opportunity. Whether or not you do that, there's also a big PR opportunity for this business. Even if you haven't launched yet, this is a huge issue. Mental health is a really big top of mind thing. America's talking about fucking getting involved in more wars right now. People are worried about the troops more than ever. I really think that even people are starting to talk about 20 years ago the lack of awareness we had with what was going on in Iraq and different things like that. I lived in the Middle East for 5 years actually myself. I wasn't in the military, but spent a lot of time with military guys. I moved for startups to Dubai and ended up partying with military R&R guys every weekend and getting firsthand experience through what they went through. But I didn't know the truth until I really moved out there. And that's another conversation. But there's a lot of shit that those guys see that the regular American people have no fucking clue what's going on. My point is, with PR and public relations and getting earned media, the goal is to make your business story relevant to what's going on in the macroeconomic, the larger scale thing. So you have that right now. Unfortunately, what's going on, it's top of mind. It's a major news story. American military sending fucking warships over to Israel and whatever. So it's actually a better time for this right now than probably the last 10 years, to be honest. And timing is a really important thing. So when I look at PR opportunities, I think that you want to write a press release. PR comes down to building a Rolodex of people we want to reach out to. So there's television shows, podcasts, YouTubers, conferences, reporters, and writers. That's about what the whole world is. And I'm going to send you this recording, the world of PR. Then it's crafting a story about this business and this mission, how it's valuable to what's going on right now, and why it's important. You have the data, you have the stat from your own life and all that. So you create that story, and then it's just about outreach and shipping it out to the media. And the reason you do that is because with those stories, even 2 or 3 like Forbes, TechCrunch, Entrepreneur Magazine, USA Today, a couple big things like that. And believe it or not, it is attainable. I've gotten a 20-year-old college student on NBC talking about his product for free. I've gotten Forbes, TechCrunch a million times for different clients, even pre-product before. If the story is relevant to what's going on and the problem is big enough, they will interview you and they will create a story about you, And I think you have that. So the reason you do that even before is because then you take that story and you go back to investors like, dude, we're doing this really big shit. We're trying to change the world for how many veterans are there in America?
There's about 14% of the VA population has post-traumatic stress. There's no hard, fast numbers on that, but the population for the VA hovers around like 11.5 million annual. So it's a considerable chunk. The SOM
1.5 million people.
The SOM is like 2.5 billion annual spend on veterans' mental health.
Yeah.
So.
And then the after effect of that, of alcohol abuse, and then hitting, family problems, then the generational effects of having a dad that sat around and tried to heal himself. I mean, it's in the tens of billions multi-generationally, and it should be paid for by our government. And it's a long story, but my point is
complicated if nothing else.
Yeah, but the bottom line is those are the numbers that make it a really big story. And so you're talking 1.5 million people as a starter. And then, this can go to other parts of society. Like I said, I got tinnitus, but I wasn't in the military. I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, you can start taking this medication. It might get rid of it. And I was like, it's not a big enough problem for me yet. But it might be because I haven't been paying attention to what worsens it. Anyway, my point is PR is something to focus on alongside of trying to raise money. But all 3 of those things that you need to do can be done really at the same time, and it's all part of the same initiative. It's, hey, we're working on this really cool thing. Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to get involved? Do you want to invest? It's, but you can't.
That's the thing. I'm trying to get that branding to sound the same across from the pitch deck to the casual conversation, and keeping it all the same compact story.
Got it. Understood. So
that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay, there we go. All right,
like tweaking a few things to synchronize those efforts.
What you want to do is start with the shortest possible fucking message, and it differs between email and social media. On social media, to an influencer or an investor or to anybody that if you're messaging on social media, it's got to be like one line and ends in a question. You don't want to send a link and a deck or anything like that. Nobody's going to fucking look at that shit. The goal is to actually get their email address, because once you get their email, you can continue to contact them. So if it's an influencer, it's hey, working on a software project or working on some tools to help millions of veterans that have PTSD. Would love to pitch it to you. Can I have your email address? Or looking for an influencer relationship for a new software product to help veterans. Can I have your email address to send you? You know, influencers tend to respond the most to the opportunity sounding like it's going to be money. So that's how you get their email, right? And but with what you're working on, like I don't want to waste their time at all. I want them to care more than be focused on money for this. You know what I mean? So it's, hey, we've invented a few products that are going to help veterans get over PTSD. Would love to potentially have you involved and offer you equity. Can we chat? You know what I mean? That way they're either like, sorry, I can't be involved. I got to make money right now. All right, thanks. Well, when the product's done, I'd love to send it to you to help you and your friends. You know what I mean? That's it. So it's a really short message on social media mentioning, so influencer, it's mentioning that there's an equity opportunity. And you know, but it's really pulling on the heartstrings. Like we are inventing products that are going to solve PTSD for millions of veterans. If they don't fucking care about that, move on. That's maybe they're struggling on their own in other ways. That it is what it is. But with a reporter or writer, it's not necessarily going to be Instagram, but you can find them like crazy on Twitter. All the major reporters put their email in their Twitter profile. So I'll even pull it up on here to show you. Watch this shit. So damn it, I gotta give myself permission to share fucking screen. Manage participants, AndrewStartups, make the host. All right, hold on. All right, hold on 1 second here. So I want to show you real quick how easy this is to. You can see my screen. Yeah, I can see it. Sorry.
Yep, gotcha.
So over here, you know, veteran writer, or let's do reporter. I'm just picking keywords. You click people over here. Veteran, oh, that means they're veteran reporter. Okay, we don't want that. Let's do veterans. Still gonna come up. All right. Military reporter. There you go. National security and military reporter for the messenger. So no email there, but there's usually a lot of people's emails. But even if there isn't, you can instantly follow them and just hit post right here. And oh wait, you gotta click on this guy's thing, and then boom, all of a sudden you're writing to that guy, and you can say, hey, I got a story idea. I want to send you our press release. What's your email address? It looks like a lot of the military people don't have, but if we do tech, because your story is also related to tech. You see down here, Wall Street Journal tech reporter. Boom. So I can now send your story in 1 second right here to this lady at the Wall Street Journal. Here's Washington Post. There's Bloomberg Business. Like so many. Look, she got her number for WhatsApp or Signal for this guy, Wall Street Journal tech reporter. So tech is going to be easy to get into, and then you can say, is there anybody else talking about veteran affairs or anything else that I might be able to talk to? Mm-hmm. But so my point is, that's like a 1 week effort. Reach out to everybody, reporters. First, you spend a day getting all the email addresses, then you're just messaging them all. So if you can get a couple interviews about what you're doing, even if you don't want to show the product yet, that's going to really help you with the fundraising efforts. So it's a difficult time right now. You got an LOI. That's an important thing for investors. Second thing is promotion. If you show, look, we've got major outlets, relationships with major reporters that are going to really help tell this story, that de-risks the company even more, and it should be interesting to invest. But you got to focus on, I think finding people that are veterans that are investors. Those are going to be your most but so we talked about PR, we talked about finding an influencer, talked about maybe getting some development help on
CSR. Yeah, those are
CSR
the really
initiative.
Great
points.
Really, I got
yeah.
that down in my notes.
So we're at time, but obviously I talked the whole time. Do you have any other questions? Is there anything else that we didn't cover that I might be able to?
No, that's a shotgun blast. Hit me right in the feels. I already know where we need to work on it, so it's just validating hearing it from you. So I appreciate all of your comments. I'll do a little bit of homework on the CSR. If you get a chance, go to withthem.co or withthem.vet.
I'm doing it right now.
And you can check out our game. There's some pre-sale opportunities on there. Getting ready to launch that out before the end of the month. It comes out on the 21st is when it'll be released.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna shotgun blast you one more time with. Wait. So is it a shooting game?
This is a first-person shooter where
Oh, dude,
we
that's
bring real veterans as our game players to kind of like help uh, tell some of those reinforcing stories about people getting it right on their recovery journey.
yeah.
Uh, and just highlight some success stories to show people that you can do it the right way, and we can
But
you can
I
figure it out and
question,
get past some challenging
real honest
bumps.
question though,
Yep.
for somebody with PTSD, do they play first person shooter games or is that a stress causing thing to do?
It's hit or miss on either one, honestly. The majority of my compatriots use this as like a comfort zone outlet. You know,
Yeah.
when you're deployed,
Wow.
you'll have like all of your little living areas network to where you can kind of play games in your
Yeah.
downtime. So
Yeah.
it's not unusual. And we wanted to try and have a different platform to reach veterans because what's currently available isn't necessarily the
Yeah.
greatest. So
Makes sense.
we're trying something different, and video games is a good medium for that.
Totally, totally, totally. So, okay, so love the name. I really do. Site looks really good. Looks like it costs a lot of money, to be honest, but with the graphics and everything in the background. But I want this text. I want it to speak more to the mission from the very beginning.
Yep.
And so, my advice to you is, you're not just trying to like Xbox would have a landing page that says the most advanced gaming experience ever. But that's not your unique selling point. Your unique selling point is the most advanced PTSD solutions ever. Or, like I want this to speak to people for the CSR initiative, dude. It's, like what you guys are actually trying to achieve here is help, heal PTSD by playing games with the most advanced
Yeah.
PTSD tech solutions ever. It's not about the no fantasy fiction stuff like that. That should be
Yeah.
far below the fold, like down here.
Mhm.
That's when I would say, because if I look at this, I have no idea this has anything to do with. Okay, it does say real military veterans led their story. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's cool to fucking everyone, not like, you know, um, my point is, it looks like this is a video game, just a video game you're launching, and the unique selling point is just that there's real veterans involved. But I can guarantee you that Call of Duty is paying a ton of veterans to come and consult on their game. There ain't no way. They got billions in budget. There's definitely people involved that are making that as real as possible. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not the unique selling point. The unique selling point is that this is mission driven. This is helping to heal, the 1.5 million American veterans that suffer from depression and post traumatic stress every year. So rework this text a little bit. Hit me
Mhm.
up on social media. I'll go through it again when you rework it. But like that's what's going to get people to pre-order. That's what you need to talk about on your Indiegogo. That's
Mhm.
like going to get people to be like, you know what? If I can put $20 down and feel comfortable that I'm helping some veterans, then I'm going to do that. And that's what you want is people to be sharing that. The number one thing that people like to share on social media is support the troops and stuff like that. And so you should benefit from that virality. So that's what needs to be really focused on in your messaging, and really made sure that, that's the unique selling point here. So the game itself is cool. I would have like this. It's cool to have a little bit, but I would definitely have this lower down because
Mhm.
okay, this makes sense. A lot of text for me to read
Yeah.
as a user. I
Concur.
think, you know. Um, I would talk more about the technology here than like the gamification of it. The game will do the work once they're in it. But the bottom line is, you don't need to convince people to play the game because it's not just anybody. It's people that are suffering from this problem play the game to get these solutions. That's really the major thing from it, right? And so it's like the messaging is, support us to help 1.5 million Americans get over their suffering. Play this game to get over your suffering. Here's the features and the reasons why it works and it's unique and then invest in us. And that's really the main thing. So let's watch this trailer and see what we got here. Shit, this looks expensive. How much you spend on this video?
This is internally made,
Nice.
so probably like 4 bench hours from a technician.
Nice. Oops, I'm sorry. All the graphics and everything. That I guess you just pulled that from the game itself. See, there you go. I mean, that line right there is going to stop anybody in their tracks on the website right there. You know what I mean? You can't put that above, super high up on the fold, but if that was here, you're going to stop 100x more people than the most advanced gaming experience ever. It's you don't come for the game. You come for the solution and the service, the the not medication. What am I thinking of? The solution. You come for the solution to your problems. You stay for the game because the game's going to take over. You don't need to oversell the game. So I think that anybody, whether investor or anything, is going to stop dead in their tracks if it's like the actual number of veteran suicides per year. Do you know what that number is off the top of your head?
Well, daily it's 22 a day.
There you
So
go.
if you
So
can
that's
scale
seven
that to
thousand.
365, that's
Seven
entirely too
thousand.
many. Yeah.
I just actually not to be off topic, but it's not super off topic. I just spoke at an event in Croatia. I gave my first TED talk. My cousin committed suicide last year, and I was suicidal when I was a teenager. That's why I wanted to get into the military. And then I found girls and alcohol and weed and whatever. But really, the thing I was still really fucked up until I left the country, and I literally ran away from home. And I say all that to say that I healed myself through what I call radical travel. And I just did this talk in Croatia, and I looked up the stats: 700,000 suicides a year worldwide. And so it's not all military, but that's a great place to start. And I think it's a very valiant effort. My point is, that's the mission and the value. So
Yeah.
optimize this text, optimize all the text on the page. Like this is just an image; it doesn't really do anything. So I would have really bold statement here, a little bit of text here that's more about the mission and the technology than the game itself. And then it's either like convert or learn more, which is what this is.
Yeah.
These are the right buttons.
Mhm.
So it's pre-order today. I don't even think you need to put the price on there. It's pre-order today or learn more, which is watch the trailer. Then you come down here, and this is where there's going to be a lot more text. So it makes sense for something like this to be there. And you don't need to say the name of it. It would say, the most. That's when you would do this, the most advanced
Yep. Gotcha.
PTSD gaming. I would really hone in on it's even if it is the most advanced gaming experience ever. That's not as important to everybody as who's going to come here from your marketing, from your Indiegogo, from your YouTube videos. Like, you should start a podcast interviewing veterans. Like, there's so many other marketing things that you can do with your time investment. But my point is, everybody's going to come here having learned about the mission first. Rather, nobody's going to come like a 13-year-old kid that's just a gamer that wants to try the most advanced gaming experience. They're not going to, right? Am I right?
Confirm. Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
confirm. Yeah. So that's where you wanna hone in on. You can say the most advanced PTSD, so not solutions. What's the word? Treatment. That was the word I was thinking.
Therapeutic
Therapy,
is what.
therapeutic
Yeah.
treatment, but gaming therapy. So it's cool. People are like, "What is that?" I actually, funny enough, I have extreme ADHD. If you can't tell already from the call, I recently just tried a therapy game. Actually, it's called. You should check it out. It's called Endeavor OTC. Have you heard
Yep.
of that?
They're on our comps
Nice. So I
comparisons.
played around with it. I'm not into games at all, but I do play first person shooter. Like, remember GoldenEye from back in the day where we get,
Yep.
I like that kind of shit where I'm killing my friends or whatever.
Slappers
But
only. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff every once in a while. But I spent so much time on the computer already for work. I can't have any games in my house. But
Yeah.
anyway, I played around with it for a few days myself, so I understand the idea of game therapy. So that's where I would hone in on here, and I would have the three sections about why it really works, and
Mhm.
then this is the long story about the mission, about how this is your story, this is the influencer story,
Mhm.
the sad fact and the truth. But the bottom line is 10% of people might really want to read, and then it should be another pre-order, learn more. You see what happens when
Yep.
I click learn more here. Nice. Then you got all the game details. That all makes sense. You got the buttons there. Let's look at is the Indiegogo live?
Not anymore.
No? Oh, you already passed.
Yep,
Nice. How much you get?
not enough.
Okay. That's not,
But it was a marketing challenge that we
yeah.
weren't really anticipating.
Exactly. I tell people every day, you have to develop a launch plan for a crowdfunding to consider it like another product launch. So you got to line up influencers, line up email marketing, line up social media posts, line up PR, line up events. Like you literally got to go and do veteran. I mean, those you can start. Not, I know this is way too much and off topic, but you can find and post a job ad in every major city in America. It's an unpaid Veterans Affairs job for this new startup. All you're going to do is you're going to get to go. You're going to get to go to, a bar and do meetups and hang out with other veterans. We're going to not sponsor it, but
Yeah.
like eventually when we raise money, and somebody that wants to just get out of the house, if you're doing all the work to put the ad up on Facebook Facebook events, LinkedIn events, eventbrite.com, whatever other meetup.com, and then you'll get 10 veterans meeting that all they do is you give them prompts of what to talk about. Maybe you give them the game for free. That's what they get, to help with their PTSD, whatever. You might be able to get some sponsorship for that outside of this. My point is, you have to do all those things to promote something like this. Just another feature launch. And every single fucking day, I talk to founders and I tell them, stop doing that other shit. Oh, we're gonna do this lead magnet. We're gonna do this. This founder today, man, he's got a marketing tool that helps you go viral on social media, and it looks like it might work. And instead of launching it, he's launching a media kit tool that makes a media kit for you. And he's going to market that to get email addresses and then tell them, like, dude, you're fucking overcomplicating shit.
Yeah.
Forget that other thing and just market the first thing that you got and market. Figure out what people like and don't like, go back and change it. And that's all you got to do. And so, I think you could redo a Kickstarter if that's what you wanted to do, because the reason why this kind of shit works for this brand is because everybody wants to support the troops. And, if it's not just a business, it's really like a pulling on people's heartstrings, almost like a GoFundMe. You could do a GoFundMe as well. It is a for-profit business, but at the end of the day, you're going to help a lot more people than any other business that I could put my money towards. I don't necessarily trust pure charities. I trust, businesses that are going to make money and help people along the way. So anyway, I think that's probably enough
Yeah.
feedback for one.
Hey man, we could wax on this stuff all day long, Dan. I love hearing
Yeah, I mean,
all
like
of
I
the
said,
feedback is immensely helpful. Perspective
good.
is definitely welcome because my perspective is limited from 25 years hanging out in the military with a bunch of people in the same uniform. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like yours, so I appreciate
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
it.
absolutely. No, I have almost 20 years of just doing this. So,
Yeah.
like I said, reach out to me. Anything I can ever do. I would love it if you actually do look into how businesses can help you and get a tax benefit. That would help me because I've never bothered to do that. But no matter what, whether I can do that or not, I got you for the whole life of this business.
I'm a grinder, man. I'll figure it out and I'll share it with you. That's what I
Yeah,
do.
let me know.
Yep.
But like
Yep.
I said, no matter what, like if you want to put on your funding deck that I'm advising you, you can do that. And I don't give that to anybody ever, 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 because one, that'll help you on the funding side. But two, after you raise the money, we can obviously work together. But I'm telling you, even though it's on recording, beforehand, I'll give you any advice I can give you.
I
I'll
am
join.
open. I am open to some type of equity transactional stuff to facilitate those types of
I
behaviors.
don't even need that. I don't even need
Yep,
that. But
I'm just telling you,
definitely,
we want the win, and whatever comes with getting that win is what we're open to in terms of all of that dialogue.
great. So what I can do right now is send me an email. It's me at AndrewStartups.com. I got your email already, and I'm going to actually email you this recording today. But I would love to get the product in the hands of the veterans that I know. And like I said, I'm about to see somebody and travel with them for a couple of weeks. I got two crazy veteran stories. I think it'd be really good for you social media wise to start interviewing unique veteran stories. One of my friends found out in Iraq that he's gay and came out and had his brother supported him and his is coming out, and it's just, you know, amazing. And then all of their platoon got blown up, IED, crazy shit, and they lived through crazy shit together. And you know, anyway, he's an amazing, amazing dude, huge fucking rip dude, and he's like so gay now. It's just amazing, amazing
It
guy.
takes all kinds to do great things, man. If you're
No,
gonna hold,
but what he
yeah,
found out, and so this, not to keep harping on this, he realized that that struggle coming out is what helped him a lot with his PTSD, because he has helped several of his brothers overcome suicidal tendencies that had no trauma related to that before going in the military. So he had difficulties with his sexuality before, whatever. Anyway, but I want to get the product to him because he's someone who has healed his PTSD by with radical travel and
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
things
I
and
mean,
stuff, living his truth.
anybody that's willing to share their story can influence somebody else's outcomes. You know, so if he has a story that a method worked for him, if he's not sharing that with the community, fuck you. You know,
Yeah,
pardon my
exactly.
language.
No, no,
It is our job
we
to
ain't got
look
to
after
pardon no
everybody
language
else.
in
Yeah,
this.
hey man, it's just I'm trying to be a better person sometimes. I'm growing up, but
Well,
leaving
I'll
the
be
uniform
honest with
behind.
you.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah,
But startups,
yeah,
we like the language in the
yeah.
startup world. It's about moving fast, breaking stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna email you the video. Email me the product. I'd love to get
I'll
some
send a
people
couple
to try it.
product keys and some unlock codes where you can share them with whoever you want, sir.
And then, and,
The game is not the end of it. The game is just a user interface.
right,
The software works in anything. It works with movies. It works with while you're talking to your therapist. It works with everything. VR. We're kind of building like a couple different interfaces to elicit responses to measure
yeah,
uh, the impacts on
nice.
the body. You know, so
Nice.
yeah.
Makes sense. It's a good niche to start with first.
If we
So
can
the
fix their
three,
problem, we
I'm
can
gonna
fix anybody's problem.
totally. I'm gonna send you the video, but the three things that you're
Yep.
gonna spend the next 2 weeks on is literally doing outreach to investors, reporters, influencers. Those three things, because you get meetings. Just practice your pitch, keep working on it. Everyone's gonna give you feedback. Everybody wants to root for you more than just a startup that's trying to fucking use AI to
Yeah.
make house cleaning more efficient or some shit.
Yeah.
So utilize that. Use that to
Glad.
your advantage. That people like me want to help you. So awesome. All right, man.
Yeah.
God bless you, brother. Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate your time and effort. And anything I can do to help you, hit me up. All right.
Of course. Go forth, do great things. Have a great weekend, man.
You too, brother. Take care.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.